show us some of the cool things he has, because I think one of the most important aspects of going live on TikTok is having a really good live setup. Like right here, you know what I'm not sitting in a car or a closet or someplace where you can't see me. I have lights, I have signage, a good setup. I have my camera on a tripod, my phone, and that's my style, but that's a good way to do it. And I think that once people improve their live setups, they're gonna be shocked about what kind of response and how good the leads, the kind of audience they're getting is, because it turns out that really what you need is that. So let me go ahead and flip it back to Will. So Will, if you want to talk a little bit more about like your setup, what you got going on and all that good stuff.
Dude, let's do it, man. Let's get set up here. So while you pass it back to me, I'm going to kind of give you all a tour of what we've got here. So originally, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes of the tour. I watch your stream. Let's go. What's up, Ghostface Gangsta? I go live all the time, and this concept started as like, I bought the house that I'm in to be a content creator house. A lot of my friends are content creators. We just spend time together, like talking about content and stuff. So originally I bought this entire house that I'm in to be a content studio. Like this place that you're in, this is the live streaming studio, which I'm going to walk you behind the scenes and kind of show you some stuff here in a second. And then I've got other rooms upstairs. They're like podcast studios and booths and stuff like that. But I wanted to test the concept. So I tested on me. What's up? Hey, good morning, Hollywood House. Good to see you. Or good afternoon. And so what I do is I want to change scenes. So there's like the stuff I'm going to talk about, and then there's like subtext of how you keep people occupied and keep their attention. So I do a lot of teaching, I do a lot of coaching, I do a lot of drawing just to keep them engaged. I've got this stuff in my head that I want to creatively get out and teach and express to people to help them understand. And so by drawing it out, it helps me. I think also from the audience's perspective is it feels novel. It feels new to them. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy's just coming off the top of the head. They don't know that I teach this stuff 400 times a day, right? Like it's ingrained, but it's like, oh my gosh, this is new. But that can get old if I just stay like this. So then we have a completely different background. So then I can come over here and now it feels completely new. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is an entirely new scene. But I learned the setup of this just from observation. I love looking behind the scenes of like movies or shows, and now they have studio setups, and like if you zoom out, they're actually in a giant warehouse, and then it's just a little scene and setup. And so then I keep this thing going, and now we're over here. And then I've got stuff that I can teach. And then I've got like my personality, like I love disco era, like Casey and the Sunshine Band, and we're playing music and like disco ball. But then I'm like, oh, we need to teach a little bit differently. Okay, let's come over here, and then now let's teach on some concepts over here. And so one of the purposes is the scene change. But the other purpose is like, this is a dedicated space. The only thing that happens in this part of the studio is to go live. That's, it's something that if I were you as a business owner, I would definitely invest in, because it gives you leverage. You can say one message one time, you can speak to hundreds or thousands, or like in one live stream, people coming in and out of my live stream, I can have 20 to 30,000 people coming in and out. As a business owner, why wouldn't you invest in that? It's awesome.
I had one of the comments here. Thank you, Will. Somebody asked, "How are you moving the camera around?" So you want to let them know, like, what was it? A tripod, a monopod? What's the?
Oh yeah. Okay, so right now you're on a tripod. Like I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod. Yeah. And then like what I was doing, the camera was right here, and I just picked it up and I just moved it with me. So but I did. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there. Like I don't want you to overthink it. Like you can just do this and have good lighting just with a phone, but like I don't want you to overthink it. I do have like a couple of other tools out there where they'll follow you around the room. I know Sean was in here. I know he's got something like that. It's whatever works for you. It's whatever your jam is, and then whatever allows you to communicate and connect with the audience.
I want to do a heat check right now with the people with the audience. Let me ask everybody, what is everybody's live setup? Like if you have a live setup that's something in the arena of what Will's doing, drop a 1 in the comments. And if you don't, drop a 2 so we can kind of know who the audience is. So if you have a live setup that has like lights and tripods, drop a 1 in the comments. But if you don't, or if you're struggling in there, drop a 2. I'm just curious to see what kind of viewers we have today, what they're working with.
Yeah. And then somebody in the chat was asking, what is Service Plus? Service Plus has a lot of tools that they use. The way that I think about Service Plus and what TikTok is doing with it is it helps to reduce the friction between a creator, somebody like me or somebody like you, and your potential customer, your potential client. It reduces the friction, whether you're going to be delivering a video course to them, whether you're going to be capturing their lead information, like their name, their email, their phone, whatever you're trying to capture, or any other thing. That's the way that I think about Service Plus. But Nelson, how would you describe it?
So yeah, Service Plus, that's a great description. Well, I would add on to that it is the top lead generation tool within the TikTok Live platform, right? It is think about it as like a big fish net, right? You're going out to fish, you're out fishing, and right now you're just been fishing one way with the little fishing pole. Think of it as like a big net where it's just like, well, this is everybody who's swimming in my side of the pond, and they keep circling my boat because they like what I'm putting out there. So let me go ahead and grab all these fish through Service Plus, collect their information, their messages, their contact information through your forms, and now you have a starter kit. You have, for my movie heads out there, the Glengarry leads, right? You have people that are more chances than not are going to see this thing through, right? They've watched what you've done. You were a complete stranger an hour ago, but now they're hooked. They're razzle dazzled by what your expertise is in, and now they want to learn more. And before this moment, they had no way of knowing who you were, let alone getting in contact with you. So if you're very with it, what you're going to do is use Service Plus, use the leads you get, and then act on those leads right away. Meaning like right after the live or later that day, sending a follow-up message or email to all these people and saying, hey, you know what? Thanks for watching my live today. It was so great having you. By the way, here's everything I have, or here's how you can get in contact with me. And then that's where people can send their link trees, their stand stores, their beacons, their school websites, whatever it is. Because now you've taken that conversation from the live room, and now you're outside and you're in a much more fertile ground to convert those leads into paid clients. So I look at it as like a top lead generation tool that exists within TikTok that is free to use and that anybody can use it, whether you have a personal or business account. There's just different channels, right? For business, you're going to use the DM shortcut. A service, you're going to use the contact form, just like Will. And I'll pin the contact form here so people could see what it looks like and then also fill it out. So you can learn more about Service Plus, and then after this live, everybody who fills out this form will be invited to join our Spring into Action campaign, which starts on March 9th, where you could win up to $200 worth of promo coupons and to get more leads. Will, I think this is a great time for those of you who's joining. Will's one of our top live TikTok Live creators. He also uses Service Plus, and exclusively through TikTok Live, historically, he's been able to make over $1 million for his business by finding new clients exclusively through TikTok Live, which is why he's such a treasure trove of knowledge, experience, warmth, and generosity, just talking to us, letting us know how to do things. Since we're about halfway through the hour, I think it's a great time for Will to kind of give us, for those of you who've never been in his live stream, a little bit of a demonstration as far as what can we expect. Like we could get 5 or so minutes of the Will Moneyman Myers experience. So if we're jumping in, school us in how it's done, Will.
Let's do it. Okay, cool. So if you're a business owner, like let me just get inventory and then I want to coach you up while we're here. Let me kind of give you some of the game. If you're a business owner and you want to get more leads, type B in the comments. And then I'm going to give you a preview. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And as I'm doing it, I want you to keep an eye out for it. And then after this, I want you to think about how you would apply this to your business. So if you're a business, do you have to have a business account? Great question. I'll kind of let Nelson respond to the comments.
Yeah, you do not have to have a business account, but go ahead, Will.
Okay, so you can do it. So anybody. So if you're a business owner and you want to generate more leads or you want to get into TikTok affiliate or you want to do anything like that, I'm going to go through a little bit of what I do on a TikTok Live as I'm teaching, but I want to tell you what I'm going to do ahead of time so you can pay attention for it. Number one, a lot of the people that come into your TikTok Live are going to be brand new. They have no idea who you are. So as you're teaching or you're demonstrating or you're talking about whatever your content is, you need to remember that new people are coming in like every second. So every now and then, through whatever you're teaching, you need to reintroduce yourself, not wait too long. You don't want to go an entire hour, then reintroduce yourself. So I'm going to do that. Number two, I'm going to talk about what I'm here for and what you're here for and what you're going to get out of it. I might give you an agenda. Hey, the next 3 things we're going to talk about, that's called future pacing. The principle of future pacing is to get you hooked. Hey, I'm going to talk about this, then I'm going to move to this, then I'm going to get to this. If you want to learn about that, I'm going to come back to that. And then number 3 is I want to drive engagement. I know where I'm going. I know the content I'm going to teach, but I want you to interact with me. If I interact and you interact with me, then the algorithm's going to go, hey, this is awesome. Let's send more people here. So I'm going to do those 3 things as I go through some content. So don't get lost in the content. Pay attention on the surface. I'm going to reintroduce who I am. I'm going to talk about the agenda so to keep you hooked. And then I'm going to get you to engage. Cool? All right, here we go. So my name is Will. I go live all the time, and I teach a couple of different concepts. I go live all the time, and I teach you how we buy assets that produce profit. And I want you to understand that you don't have to wait until you're 65 years old to retire. What we teach in my TikTok Live is how we buy assets that produce profit so you can retire without waiting until you're old. How many of you want to learn how to retire without waiting until you're old? Type 1 in the chat. How many of you are like, no, I want to be old, senile, and in hospice care? Type 2. You're like, that's fine with me. That's cool. I'm going to teach you some of those concepts live right now. Just type 1 if you want to learn the really quick high level of how you do it. Type 2 if you're not interested in that at all. But the core concept before we get into this is we take our cash, we stash our cash, we get it ready to then go out there and buy assets. Those assets then produce profit. We take the profit, we fill the bucket back up, we buy more assets. Now, assets can range in a variety of different things. One of the things that I teach often is how we buy foreclosures. You can buy foreclosures for the debt owed, but you can own it for the value that it's worth. If you want to learn really quickly about how to find foreclosures, just type F down in the chat, and in just a minute, I'll teach you how to find foreclosures in 5 steps or less. One of the other asset types that produces profit that doesn't require your time is self-storage. If you want to learn how to buy storage, I'll teach you that here in just a second. Type S in the chat for self-storage. Another asset we talked about earlier this week is ice machines. Ice machines are, you go there, you put your money in, it deposits ice into your ice chest or gives you bags to keep your drinks cold. I'll teach you a couple of the steps on how you begin on ice machines. Just type I in the chat. So foreclosure, type F, self-storage, type S, I for ice machines, type I. I'll cover that in just a second. But if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time and I teach you how we find assets that produce profit so you don't have to wait until you're old. I'm going to show you some of these concepts in just a second, and we're going to get into all of those things. I'm going to teach you how we find and evaluate foreclosures. I'm going to show you how we find and evaluate self-storage, and then I'll show you some quick tips on how we find and evaluate locations to place ice machines. But the core of all of this is how we get financially free without waiting until we're old. So really quick, just fast in a hurry. If you want to learn how to find and evaluate foreclosures, I'm going to show you how we do this. But number one, let me know in the comments, what state are you tuning in from? I'm in Texas. My name is Will. It's nice to meet you. What state are you tuning in from? I see storage in the chat. I see ice machine. I see self-storage. Cool. Okay, so what state are you in? I'm going to show you really quick how we find and evaluate.
I see a Florida. We got Florida, Illinois.
Let's go, Florida. Okay, so we got Florida. We got North Carolina, Illinois. Good morning, Illinois. Good to see you. My name is Will. I'm in Texas. Nice to meet you. So whether you realize it or not, you've already practiced the principle, number one, of finding foreclosures in your area. What you would do is step number one is go to the internet and search who maintains property records. Good morning, California. Good morning, Danny in New Mexico. You would search who maintains property records in New Mexico. Who maintains property records in Texas? By law, somebody in your state has to maintain property records. How you find foreclosures is you search that. Who is that? Who finds property records or who maintains property records in Illinois? Tennessee, I see you. Good morning, Tennessee. Who maintains property records in Tennessee? That's step number one of finding and evaluating foreclosures. Step number two, now that you know that answer, that's your source. You're going to continue to go back to that source to search for foreclosures. They're going to have all the foreclosure announcements. Then you're going to find the list, which is step number 3. Then when you find the list, step number 4 is you're going to look for the debt. This is the cool thing about foreclosure. Then we're going to pivot to self-storage and to ice machine. Before I finish those steps right there, if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time and I teach you what I did to get financially free at age 29. If you want to hang out with us every day, make sure you tap the follow button on TikTok Service Plus. We go live all the time and we teach you how to get better leads frictionless. Huh? Good morning. Good morning. I think we'll pause there. Was that what you were looking for, Nelson?
That is wonderful. So for those of you who are in here, we're lucky enough to see this. That's how you do it. That's exactly what you do. That's exactly how you win. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. So Will, one of the things that Will's doing, he's doing a lot of great things, but one of the secrets to helping everybody's lives is to increase your comment rate, right? Mm-hmm. To have more people comment. Will's doing a lot of those very skillfully, almost subtly, to the point where you may not even notice he was getting it out of you, right? He was asking things like, if you're a business owner, drop a B in the comments. Everybody could drop a letter real fast, right? That's a quick way of doing it. He was asking people where they're from. What does that do? When people do that, what does that really do? You know what it really does? It boosts your live room's engagement. What it does is it tells people that, hey, this live room is where things are popping. This is one where I want to, put it up on the For You page. This is something that's going to be good for me. That's what you want. That's what you want people to really kind of get behind. Another thing is, let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me see if I can switch this up here. Okay. So for those of you just joining too, my name's Nelson. I'm a creative manager here at TikTok. I work in the TikTok live department, if that wasn't obvious enough. We're talking about Service Plus today. We're calling the live stream success. So everybody taps that little orange bubble. It's got a little arrow in it down in the bottom left corner of your screen. So you want to go like right here, somewhere here. You see it? There's a little contact form for you to fill out so you can learn more about Service Plus, creator managers like myself, how to improve your live. We also have a Spring into Action Win New Clients campaign that starts on March 9th, where you could win up to $200 in promote reward coupons, as well as millions of impressions for your account. But going back to Moneyman Myers, who's joining us here today as our special guest. Moneyman Myers is one of our top TikTok Live creators. He's made over $1 million exclusively through TikTok Live, getting clients for his business. So one of the things that a lot of people here probably get confused is, there's two different worlds you can live in, right? There's the TikTok Live, which is sort of like the original model, which is like people are going live and battling and doing gifting and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. But in the world we live in now, there's a lot of wills in the world, right? People who are their own businesses, have to run their own ops, and see live for what it is, which is a great platform for reach, for visibility, a global reach to different people who could have consults and virtual clients. So there's also the creators like Will, like some of the users who are watching, who are going to see lives and going and say, the best use of my time is to go live to get clients for me. And that's why Service Plus is so powerful, where it's just like you're not depending on gifting boxes and roses or whatnot. That's fun and fun to do. But if you have big goals, like, I want to have high paying clients because I'm a therapist, or I want to have high paying clients because I'm a marketing manager, or I'm a educational teacher, or what have you, or I'm a tax consultant. This is why Service Plus is going to be great, because it's like, hey, I'm going to go live. I'm going to show you I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to use visual aids the way Will does, have a great live setup, keep you engaged, and then periodically tell you things like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my Service Plus pin, and I'm going to go ahead and pin one of my shortcuts. In this case, I'm pinning my contact form shortcut. So then that way you could get in contact with me, because after this live, guess what? I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to send you a message, a WhatsApp message, whatever it is. I'm going to follow up with you, my new friend, my new lead, and I'm going to tell you about all the things I have, or I might get on a phone with you for a discovery call. I might figure out where you fit in the ecosystem of my business. And that's a powerful tool. That's a powerful road to success that a lot of creators, in my opinion, are sleeping on. A lot of creators, I have an expression I say, they just want to spray and pray. They just want to go live and go, well, I hope people follow me. I hope people find my website and figure it out. But that's not always the case, right? Why not take control of your own business and your own fate and say, you know what? I'm going to go live and I'm going to use all these people who are watching me, and I'm going to convince some of them to at least turn into potential clients. And step one is tapping that orange bubble with the arrow in it to get those clients to talk to you, to engage with you. So, Will, one of the things I wanted to do next here is just talk a little bit about, as far as like, you mentioned your live setup, you mentioned your live screen. On the back end, you use the contact form. What happens when people switch out to you with the contact form? Like what happens? Like, are people going to expect an email from you, or do they get dropped into a drip campaign, or like what's the secret sauce here?
Yeah, really good question, Nelson. So first of all, I see some comments in here. If you don't have the orange button on your screen, you just need to update your TikTok app. What I would do is at least message Service Plus, and maybe they can send it to you or go to their profile. But I would definitely figure out whatever you got to do. Run through mud if you have to get signed up for their Spring Into campaign. It's going to be awesome. I'm happy to teach and help. I don't mind sharing everything that I do to help improve what you've got going on. So go get registered. Once you get registered, come back in the comments, say done, send them a DM, do something, whatever you got to do.